Hey, fabulous people. Okay, well, I'm going to say a couple quick things. Look, it all comes down to tomorrow. And no, I'm not being hyperbolic. It all comes down to tomorrow. Legitimately, tomorrow is a test. A test on the United States, a test we have never had probably in our lifetime unless you lived in the civil rights movement. It's a test to determine whether or not the United States should be the moral fabric for the rest of the world, or whether the United States should retreat from that role and let the rest of the world dictate for us how to be moral leaders. We have a fraud imposter in the White House, and this election is about him. Don't let anybody tell you it's about anything other than him. The rest of the world is watching right now. Do we want to be the laughingstock of the rest of the world? We have a buffoon in the White House. Stop lying to yourself if you're allegedly a Trump supporter. Let me just tell you something about you Trump supporters. You're not really supporting him because you think he's presidential, or you believe that he's the appropriate fit to be basically the figurehead of the United States. You don't believe that yourself. It's either you are a racist, a bigot, a misogynist, a xenophobe. It's not because of the economy, because the last 21 months of President Obama's presidency were better than Trump's first 21 months. So it's not about the economy. You never appreciated what President Obama did, but it's just the greatest thing since sliced bread now that Trump does it. You are either all those things I said you are, or you're a fan, a stan, shall I say. You're excited about the celebrity president. You guys are in there saying, oh, good times at the Trump rally. We're all there saying all the racist stuff we want to say. It's so much fun. I love being racist. I mean, come on. At a certain point, you have to remember that the United States does not live in the world alone. The United States at one point was the leader of the free world. The United States is no longer the leader of the free world. Countries are moving on without the United States. Alliances are being destroyed. But let's talk about what's happening in the United States. If you don't care about the bigotry or the anti-Semitism or the racism or the xenophobia or the homophobia or the Islamophobia, if you don't care about any of those things, that's on you. I don't even say that has to be the thing you care about the most. But if you think it's because of the economy, you're being lied to. The stock market's at negative gains. And when they tell you the jobs, all these jobs are being created, job numbers are so great for this year. Go look at the numbers President Obama had his last 21 months versus the first 20 months of Trump. And President Obama created more jobs. The bottom line is Democrats are consistently the ones who come in and clean up the country and clean up the economy after a Republican comes in and crashes it. That's what happens every time. Trump is just benefiting from the good economy President Obama left him. The same way George Bush was benefiting from a good economy that Bill Clinton left him. Bill Clinton left George Bush a surplus, and he managed to just destroy the United States. President Obama comes in, cleans it up. And then Trump comes in here and tries to take credit for it. And then he goes and gets into a trade war, which is passing the prices on to consumers. So don't tell me it's about the economy that you're voting for him for. You're not voting for him for the economy. Just admit it to yourself. I'm a stan, or I'm a racist, xenophobe, homophobe, Islamophobe, bigot. That's what I am. But don't tell yourself you're benefiting from Trump being the president of the United States, because Trump doesn't care about you. Trump has been spending his time consistently protecting himself, enriching his family, enriching his businesses, enriching his properties. That is all he has done as president. He will create controversy after controversy, putting you, his supporters, at risk. You are the ones who are constantly having to defend him when he never has to answer any questions. He's been insulated from any consequences. Do you really want to live in a country where only one party controls everything that transpires? I don't want to live in a country where one party rules. That's authoritarianism. Why would I want to live like that? And that is what we're living under right now. We've seen the consequences of it, where one person in the United States is completely insulated from all consequences and just threatens the entire country, where you have Republicans who are completely paralyzed, are scared to death to say anything about him. Then you have Democrats who don't have the power to do anything about what he's doing. You cannot say you want to live in a country like that. Tomorrow is one of the most important elections of our lifetime, if not the most important election of our lifetime, unless you live through the civil rights movement. This is not a time where you get to pout and say, you know what, I'm just not going to vote. Because I have this great idea that if I don't vote, then, they'll come in like, You can't even articulate why you're not voting. You don't have a logical plan for why you're not going to vote. So that means you should go vote. And then give yourself 2 years to figure out what you're going to do to come up with a strategy to get the Democrats, if you feel they haven't been listening to you enough, come up with a strategy in which you can get them to listen to you more. But you haven't come up with that today. So the fact that you haven't come up with that today, I don't care if you're black, Hispanic, Asian, youth, white, orange, gray, yellow. I don't care what you are. You need to get out there and vote. Richard Spencer tweeted out today. He said, "The Republican Party is a white man's party. There's no way to get around that." Now, if you're not a white male, I have no idea why you would be voting for a party that admittedly excludes you. So tomorrow, I don't care what you're doing, stay in line. If you stay there all day, it's only one day. One day to sacrifice for your country, I think it's worth it. One day to sacrifice for yourself. Be selfish tomorrow. Be selfish. Tomorrow, be selfish. I'm voting for me. I'm voting for me because I want to change the country. I want the country that I live in to look like this and be like this. And stay in line tomorrow like you are the deciding vote, like you are the only vote that matters. Because tomorrow when you're in that booth, that is all that matters. Let's reclaim the dignity and respect of the United States. Let's not give in to authoritarianism. Let's not agree to one-party rule. Let's not lie to ourselves and tell us that everything's okay when it's not. And let's stop being the laughingstock of the world. Tomorrow we have a chance to do that. So everybody, you gotta get out and vote. No matter what you're doing tomorrow, I don't care if you have to tell your boss to go shove it. You need to go there tomorrow and vote. And then you can go back about your day. But once you do that tomorrow, you're gonna feel good. And when those votes are counted, I'm making a couple predictions. I might be wrong, but I'm making them now. I believe that Beto will win. And people keep saying he's not going to win, but I think he's going to win. I think Gillum's going to win. I think Abrams can win if they don't cheat. And I think the Democrats will take the House. So those are the only predictions I'm going to make. But I'm telling you guys, none of that will come true unless we vote. Let's vote tomorrow. All right, guys, I'm counting on you because I know you're going to get out there. Let's do this.